Hello again, everyone. This is Hamsika, and welcome to Around the Galaxy podcast, where we discuss all things pageantry with the Galaxy girls from Australia Galaxy Pageants. We have a wonderful, lovely delegate today who is all set to share about her journey so far, what she wants to take out of this experience, her platform, and a lot more. So let's get started with the episode. All right, so today we have with us Melisand. Oh, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for your support. How
Thank
are you
you.
doing?
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So if I have to ask you to introduce yourself and your platform, what would you like to say?
Well, I'll start with the fact that I'm a third year biomedicine student. I'm also studying a diploma of French language. My hobbies include dancing and knitting and skiing. I find that I have lots of different attributes to my life, and lots of things that I'm really passionate about. So that sort of led me to make the decision of my platform. I've called it "Put a Pen in It." It's for women who can't be easily pinned down. It's the idea that while we are pursuing ideals of femininity and society is portraying that to us, yes, I've got a tiara and a sash on. It's that there's much more complexity to that, and that you don't need to be defined by just one aspect of your life, rather than looking at multiple different ways that can exist. From personal experience, a lot of that's coming from the fact that I'm hoping to pursue a career as a clinician, and I'm finding balancing my studies in STEM with my desire to be on a stage and to sparkle almost contradictory. In fact, when I first signed up for the pageant, I talked to my academic advisor about the potential backlash on my career as a doctor, solely because I wanted to join a group of beautiful women who want to change the world on a stage. That's something I've also noticed a lot at work. I'm a pharmacy assistant, is the difference in which that ourselves as women have to work in comparison to my male colleagues to be taken seriously. On another note, it's sort of looking at the duality of myself and the ways that I differ. And I sort of picked this platform because I know I can't be the only one who's grown up wanting to do multiple things, who's loved so many different subjects and might have a career goal in mind, but isn't prepared to give up everything else that makes them them, or their hobbies and interests, even if they don't necessarily all sit nicely into one classifiable bubble. It is quite challenging to be someone with multiple layers. One of my close family friends a couple of weeks ago described me as complex. While that was 100% a compliment, there are connotations of that word that I would like to change for young women like myself who want to be more than just one part of their life, who can have multiple different aspects of their life that contradict to each other, but still continue to be the fullest of themselves. To take sort of a mental health perspective, I've been diagnosed with OCD, and I've been living with it for about 6 years now. I'm now at a point where I'm living with it as opposed to I don't have to fight it. It's much more under control. But I went through a period where that was all I was. I was a shell of myself. I had a beanie on, I had my glasses on, and growing out of that and not acknowledging that this is part of the way my brain works, but also it doesn't necessarily have to define everything I do. There are strengths to it, and there's also things that hold me back. And I want to show other young women and other young people out there that just because you get to put a little acronym on every doctor's sheet doesn't mean that your options are limited, and that you can still pursue really intense careers such as medicine.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
I could keep talking forever. But
I love the fact that you touched upon so many amazing topics and a lot of them sensitive as well. And the what you said about having multiple interests and doing more than one thing, and then facing backlash. Or there are a lot of people who think that being multi passionate is, or like a passionate creator having multiple interests is a bad thing. And I absolutely agree with you. Like you definitely can be something more than just one thing. Like I don't like it when people say just stick to one thing, because that is something I relate with whatever you said. Because when you have multiple interests and then people around you are like, oh, you want to do this as well, oh, you want to do this as well, but why can't you just stick to one thing? But then how do you explain to them that this is who I am?
Yeah, I never liked the expression growing up, jack of all trades, master of none. Because I was like, why can't I be a master of all of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do I have to pick one thing? I don't want part of myself to be ignored in order to fit in with another aspect of my life. I don't want to have to be, for example, more masculine, presenting to work to be successful as a doctor. I want to be able to wear bold prints and be friendly, but I also to be taken seriously as a medical professional, even at my low level now. I want to be able to wear fun earrings to work within reason, and not have that seem to be presented as a challenge to my understanding and my training. It's also the fact that I ran into one of my primary school teachers a few months ago, and she asked me, "Oh, you're not pursuing a career in the performing arts?" She said, "You were such a performer, in primary school." I said, "That was absolutely true. But I'm surprised you don't remember the fact that in year 6, I chose to do my project that I could do anything in the world on. I chose to do it on the lymphatic system, way beyond my understanding in year 6. But how can I create space for myself and for other people to pursue male-dominated careers, but still keep hold of all the aspects that make them themselves?"
Oh, that is so wonderful. I can't wait to see what all you come up with your platform, and that would be such an amazing learning experience as well. And as well as you said, it's like bringing people who actually think in the same way at like to a safe space. So there are lots of them like us out there. So they just need to have one platform where they can feel safe and then come and open up. So that's a wonderful thing. So if I have to ask you, what is it that made you actually apply for Australia Galaxy Pageant or join this journey? So yeah, what made you join pageantry?
Well, the absolute beginning could almost be seen as a bit superficial. Is that I missed being on a stage. I missed showing off. I missed dressing up and having a reason to go look at me. And I was like, as a dancer, I was looking for sort of really friendly competitions, those kinds of environments, but as an adult. And as a dancer, that doesn't really exist in the amateur sphere. So I started looking at other avenues that I can find ways to stand in the spotlight. And so Miss Congeniality, the film with Sandra Bullock, of course, was I had a rewatch and I went, hang on, this might be something for me. And I did a lot of research, and when I found Australia Galaxy Pageants, I was thrilled, because not only does it give me an opportunity to stand on a stage in a sparkly dress and have a great time, but it's all about making ourselves the best version of us. It's about making sure that we're involved in the community. And that was something that really resonated as someone who works in a local community pharmacy, who has many aspects and hobbies and volunteering jobs within the community. I wanted to be able to keep all of that. And also in the selfish way, I'd like to be recognised for the fact that I'm doing all these things outside of just studying and getting good grades. Yeah. As I've gone along, I will say that my reasons for staying and my reasons for putting more and more effort into my preparation have changed. It's gone from, oh, it's a competition where I get to stand on the stage, I'll do the extra bits, to I've never talked openly about my compulsive disorder apart from with a couple of few people. And I felt so relieved when I discovered, 5 years ago on diagnosis that I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the only one. What if I can do that for someone else? What if I can do that for, even if it's just one person? I know I can't change the world, but I want to do what I can to influence the people around me as well.
That is so wonderful. And I'm pretty sure your journey is going to be a very inspiring one for people around you. So, thank you so much for sharing, some of your deepest thoughts. That's really appreciated. So, if I have to ask you, what is it that you feel like you're going to gain out of this whole experience of being in pageantry?
I think the biggest thing, I'm going to challenge some of my internal misogyny, is that I still hesitate before telling some of my closest friends that I'm in a pageant, because I have such ingrained ideas of what it means to be a girl in a pageant. And coming back to that idea of I can be highly intelligent and still love to dress up and put makeup and get my hair done. And I'm learning to challenge that within myself, to be able to say to my friends with pride, I'm in a pageant and I'm unbelievably thrilled to have been chosen. And also go, I can be hyper feminine and not have it sacrifice any other part of my life. The way I was describing it to some of my male friends was, if I had joined a bodybuilding competition, something more traditionally masculine, there wouldn't be any thought in my mind of how is this going to impact my credibility as a healthcare worker, because it's something that's associated with, yes, it's about looks, but people understand the work ethic and the dedication and all this and the time that it takes to get to an elite level, for example, and that's not something that's associated with pageantry.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm constantly reminding myself not to look down on myself and not to give in to the voice in my head that goes, oh, that's just silly. Well, it can be silly and it can still be really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And pageantry involves so much work. It's not how people think, you just wear some nice outfit and just get on stage. That is, yes, the probably the highlight of it on stage, but what happens behind the stage is immense. It's like getting ready for any other competition.
I'm a big fan of a spreadsheet, but I have got spreadsheets and I've got all my outfits planned, and then if something goes wrong, how can I switch between them? I've also thought about all the different ways I can get into my community, and I've got those listed and all my contact details. It's taking up a huge amount of time,
Absolutely.
but I'm enjoying every single second of the preparation as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I always keep feeling that pageantry is like your second full-time job, because there's so many different aspects. It's not like just one thing that you need to concentrate. There are so many multiple things.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So while we're talking about AGP, they have a lot of beautiful values within the system. So if I have to touch on your value system, so what is it that you value the most in life? What would you like to say?
Honesty and authenticity are the first things that come to mind. It's closely followed by, but they're on an equal level. It's just at what order they come out of my mouth. But there's also compassion. I spend a lot of my time thinking about how other people are doing, and I can find it very difficult to be around people who don't necessarily think about how their actions impact others. It's also, as I said, I'm still trying to work out who I am. Because of my compulsive disorders through OCD and trichotillomania, which is compulsive hair pulling, my visual appearance changed. I had to relearn how to think, how to behave. I call it relearning how to be human, because that's effectively what it was I was 19 and I felt like a 3-year-old again. So I'm still working really hard to try and make sure everything I do is true to myself. It's trying to make sure everything I do is authentic as well. It's honestly been a challenge for me to do things that I normally do, like donate blood, but with a tiara and sash on, because I'm fighting the idea that just because I've got a tiara and sash on doesn't mean that I'm performative. I'm doing something that I deeply care about and something that I have a history of doing. And the fact that I'm doing it a bit more publicly doesn't change the reason why I'm doing it. It's something I'm really, really conscious of, is being authentic to myself, even while I'm still trying to work out who that is.
Really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And the journey of discovering who you are. I think it's variable how much time it takes for everyone. It's different. So I have absolutely been in that journey as well. Like there was a point when I was feeling the person that I am is actually what everyone expects me to be and not what I actually want to be. So that juggling between those two personalities and to truly come out of it, it's such a difficult phase to be in.
Honestly, the more I become myself, the more I revert to my 10-year-old self. She knew what was up.
Yeah.
She knew who she was, and she wasn't burdened by what other people thought she should be. She was just having a great time. And the more I work on myself, the more I turn back into her. I haven't gone, I lose the I have to fit in attitude from high school, or the I'm highly successful, so I have to continue to be attitude again from high school. That's really exciting, and I hope that I can, as I said, even just one person, just to be someone who's gone, oh, that person's made it through. I can do it too.
Yeah, it will just bring that hope with someone else who feel they're relatable to you. So
yeah, is that it's not wrong to go through the period in high school where I've just turned 21, so my perspective is very much school and university orientated. But it's not wrong to go through that period where you're trying to work out who you are by fitting in. As long as you work out who you are, and even if you spend your whole life trying, I think everyone's pretending a bit as well.
Yeah.
we're all growing, and we're all pretending that we know all the answers. We're still
Yeah, that's true. And I think in every stage of life, who we are also probably might change depending on the experiences that we're having and the people around us. So as you said, throughout your life, you're just figuring out who you are. Wonderful. That was a very, very powerful some of the things that we spoke about, and I really appreciate you for being, so open about the things that you have gone through, and you've already inspired me. I was just telling the two other girls just before the session that you had, like, so if only the younger version of me, so I'm 35 now, so if only, like you said, you're turning 21, so if the 21-year-old me would have met you, I would have been like, wow, I would have been so inspired. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Very well done. So from those powerful conversations, we'll do something fun now with a little game segment. So with pageantry, we know, like, you have to remember so many things, you have to do so many things. So I thought I'll design something around memory games. So I have two different pictures which I'm going to show you for 10 seconds each, and you just have to observe everything in the picture, and then I'll ask you two questions each about each. Okay, so let's do this.
The competitiveness is coming out.
Let me know when you can see the screen.
And it's just loading. Okay, there we go.
Awesome. So I'll start counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, stop share. All right. So my first question is, how many women were wearing something white?
Three.
I'll give you one.
Well, like there was one wearing white with a pale pink skirt, and then there was another white top next to her, And then I got distracted for a while because there was an arm that didn't belong to anyone. Finding white earrings, because there were some wearing white earrings as well.
Yep. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
okay, 5.
Yeah.
I didn't overshoot it at least.
Yeah, true. So your second question is, how many models were there in the picture? Like the total number of models.
I didn't bother to count because I didn't think that was going to be such an obvious answer.
Just guess.
4, 5. It's about 12, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, you're very close. It's 14.
Okay.
Almost there.
Almost there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the second picture. I'll share my screen again.
Are you going to ask, should I start counting this time?
No, I'll start counting.
No, I mean, I'm going to...
Oh, you mean the... Well, you might. Let's go with the second picture now. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Stop share. Okay. How many little girls were wearing a blue outfit?
1. Unless I'm thinking of the green. Unless I'm thinking of the green. There was one in the green is one. Green, and then there was one in the background on the right hand in green, and there was one on the forehand in green. It's either 1 or 0. Like this is true. Oh.
Green is actually 1. So 1 girl wearing green and 2 wearing blue.
Okay.
Okay, so
close. I'm close.
Yeah, close. So
you take that with pride. I'm close.
Similar question with the colors. How many girls were wearing like yellow/mustard outfit?
Most of them. There was about 16 of them that you could see the color. And then if we remove the 3 green and blue, and then there was a couple of red, go 10, roughly.
No, it's actually 4.
What? Okay.
Yeah, yellow and mustard. So there's red and like the bright red. There's a pink. There's 2 blue, and then there's 4 yellow and like yellow and mustard kind of a.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm completely out then.
Yep. That's all right. Next we have an image where you need to spot the difference between similar looking images.
Okay.
And I'll count 10 again, and then you can tell me. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop share. So what differences did you know?
The figure on the right was inverted and holding flowers or not holding flowers, depending on which one you're comparing it to.
Yep.
So there only one I was meant to be looking for. I stopped looking after I found that.
Oh no, there are a few.
Oh no! I was like, I got it. I'm good. Okay. I'm gonna list working on confidence or overconfidence to my goals.
Nah, this is just to have fun, so that's all good. All right, so there is also a little message that I want to share.
Oh yeah, there's also I see the missing
Australia Galaxy Pageant. One tip I took away from winning my Miss Teen Galaxy UK title and my Miss Teen Galaxy International title is that you just have to have fun. Regardless if I won or not, I could 100% say I walked away from my weekend competing the happiest I've ever been, making friends for a lifetime and also memories that I'm going to cherish forever. I think a lot of us get caught up in the moment and get so focused on winning that we forget that pageants are actually just a hobby and we're here to have fun. So I am definitely recommending that you sit there, you take photos, you make friends, and you have a laugh, because at the end of the day, only one person can win. And whether it's you or not, you want to make sure that at the end of the weekend, it was 100% worth it because you had a blast.
That's fantastic. I really like that.
Yeah. So there was a little message from Amber. Awesome. Awesome. So the fun segment is done as well. Now that brings us to the last part of the show, which is more around what is that one message that it can be more than one as well that you would like to share with people, who follow your journey, who are inspired by your journey, or just in general to your family and friends. What would you like to say?
I like the fact that you mentioned I could have more than one. It's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Of needing to be more than just one thing.
Absolutely.
I think it comes down to you don't need to limit yourself to just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to limit yourself to just one goal. It's bringing it back to myself, just because that's something I know. Is I can't talk about everybody else, but I do know about my experiences. Is that just because I'm working towards medical school and hopefully a career as a doctor doesn't mean I have to give up everything else on the journey just to get there. Is that your life is more fun, it's more fulfilling when you have all these extra things to take part in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
And if you pull out a few
stick with
pieces of
one.
hair along the way, it'll grow back.
Yeah, truly.
Quite literally.
Yeah. And as you rightly said, why stick with one when you can have so many goals? And just kick all the goals.
Yeah.
You have one life. That's
one life. I'm going to do a million things. That's
very well said. Well, thank you so much for sharing so many amazing thoughts. And as I mentioned quite a few times, sharing some really sensitive and important aspects about your life as well. I truly, truly appreciate. I'm pretty sure when I post this episode, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to draw inspiration from you. So I am so looking forward to meeting you at the finals, which is in 10 weeks now, not even 10 weeks anymore. Where's the time flying? My God.
I'm really looking forward to as well. I share all your sentiments. It's been wonderful coming on here and having a chance to not just write everything that I'm believing in, but really practice saying it aloud.
Yep.
Really solidifies it in myself as if I get to say it aloud to someone else. You've been absolutely brilliant. It's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah. Same here. Thank you so much, and I will see you in less than 10 weeks.
I'll see you then.
Yep. Good night.